Well, hi there, and welcome to our Sunday song time. And, kind of a different song for you this time around, but I'm going to find a spiritual application for it. Well, the other day, I was chatting with a friend of mine, and he said, wow, how do you come up with all these different songs every Sunday? Right? Because I've been doing this now for a few years. And this week, wouldn't you know, I couldn't think of a song. I was racking my brain and thought, well, maybe I'll just redo, maybe a hymn that I'd done before. And but then this song popped into my head. It was one of my favorites back in the day. And it was written by a man named Gene McLellan. Now, those of us here in Canada, and in fact, I've even done his song Snowbird. Gene McLellan wrote a couple of worldwide hit songs back in the 70s. Anne Murray recorded Snowbird. People even call Canadians that now. Some of you will know a song. It was recorded by a group called Ocean, and it was known all over the world. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. But as I've shared before on these YouTube videos, Gene McLellan lived a very troubled life. Yep, he was a believer in Christ, but there were just certain things he couldn't overcome in his life. And, I wonder how many of us are actually walking wounded. The walking wounded, yeah? And you never know. You never know when you run into people. And that's why, especially in our world today, we need so much kindness, don't we? And this song, now Anne Murray did a version of it and had a bigger hit with it than Gene did. But, I really liked this one. And Gene McLellan has a way, you can just feel the pain in this song from this man who's down on his luck. And I'm going to take you back to the days when people used to use pay phones. Remember those? Yes. And so he's just hoping somebody will give him some change so he can make an important phone call. And, and I got to thinking to myself, we have a lot of people that, are down in their luck, as we used to call it, but just through many difficulties. And we don't know, we can't judge. And we help as we can. And in fact, that's the motivation, to help as you can. Oh yes, are there people that abuse, say the welfare system? Are there people that, if I give them money, they're just going to buy drugs? Yeah, but you and I can't judge that. And hey, listen, maybe the help we give them might be just enough to keep them going another day, and maybe they'll find something that will change their life. We don't know. In fact, I'm going to turn this into something very spiritual in a moment, because I will share with you what I think is the strangest thing Jesus ever said. Yeah, I think maybe it might be the strangest. He said a lot of things that were sort of head scratchers, right? But this one, I've never heard anybody mention it in sermons or anything, because I've never heard anybody that could truly explain it. I can't. But I'm going to share it with you coming up after you hear this song, okay? So the strangest thing Jesus might have said, and I hope this doesn't end up being the strangest song you've ever heard hear me sing. But anyway, it's called The Call by Gene McLellan. It's a long-distance phone, and I feel so alone here without her. It's a crime and a shame that I ain't got the change, and don't you know that I'm worried about her. I've been all over town, every street up and down, looking for the man. He's just a face in the crowd where the traffic roars loud, but don't you know that he'd be proud to lend a helping hand. Mister, can you find it in your heart to lend me $1? For the times have been slow, I'm fresh out of dough, and I ain't got the money to call her. I threw my pride out the door, 'cause I've been turned down before, but I'll keep trying. This type of pain, well, you know, it's kinda hard to explain, but the feeling's just the same as like dying. Mister, can you find it in your heart to lend me $1? For the times have been slow, I'm fresh out of dough, and I ain't got the money to call her. You put the change in my hand, you're the world's kindest man, and I thank you, sir. You'll never know what you've done for this poor mother's son. A thirsty man just got a cold cup of water. So mister, can you find it in your heart to lend me $1? For the times have been slow, I'm fresh out of dough, and I ain't got the money to call her. Yeah, mister, can you find it in your heart to lend me $1? For the times have been slow, I'm fresh out of dough, and I ain't got the money to call her. Song called The Call. Yeah. Gene McLellan, Canadian singer-songwriter. All right, I said I had some strange words for you. Oh, yeah. And they come, well, this is from Mark chapter 9. Mark chapter 9. It's also found, I think, in Luke chapter 9. But now John, one of the apostles, I'll just give you a bit of the background that Mark gives us. He said this. He said, we saw somebody driving out demons in your name, and we told them to stop because they're not one of us. Do not stop him, Jesus said. Boy, you know, when it comes to judging people, there are some people you might disagree with doctrinally, for instance. But if God's blessing them and if they know the Lord, well, Jesus would say, don't stop them. Don't speak out against them. For no one who does a miracle in my name can, in the next moment, say anything bad about me. And then, okay, strangest things. Okay, first he says, for whoever is not against us is for us. Well, that's interesting. That's one to ponder right there, isn't it? But here it is. And like I say, I don't know what he meant by this. But he said, truly I tell you. So it's from Jesus, so it's the truth. He says, anyone who gives you a cup of water in my name, because you belong to the Messiah, will certainly not lose their reward. And I thought of that, because in that song, you've just given a thirsty man a cold cup of water. Jesus says if someone gives you a cup of water, a cup of cold water even, because you're a follower of mine, they will not lose what reward? What reward? I have no idea. And like I said before, you and I don't know everybody's story. So, if you can help somebody, help somebody. Yeah, so many walking around wounded in our world today. And outwardly, they may look very successful. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's something just really troubling them, and well, they don't feel they can share it with you. Maybe it's none of your business anyway, but it is your business, my business too, to keep offering cold cups of water in many different ways. Anyway, thought I would just share that strange verse with you. Hope you enjoyed the song. And keep Keep living for the Lord. Keep being as generous as you can. There is a reward coming someday. What that reward is? Well, as I just read there in Mark's Gospel, we won't know what some of these rewards are or who's going to get them. Keep following the Lord. Okay, bless your heart.